Okay. Pretty good. All right, we'll start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it is one nation, God, indivisible, with liberty and Okay, thank you all for being here tonight. We'll start with personal appearances. Are there any personal appearances? Okay, Ryan?
You're on the agenda for...
Yeah. Okay, we'll skip to Ryan then. Yep.
You don't trust me with the mouse. Oh, he has. You don't trust me with the mouse. Oh, he hasn't.
Well, I'm not sure this is the best decision we've ever made with it, but... Sure. Thank you. Yes. Sure. Thank you. Yes.
Right. As this pulls up here, good evening, everyone. Ryan Ackerman here on behalf of the Souris River Joint Board to give you an update on construction activities occurring within Roosevelt Park and the zoo over the last month. I'm going to go through, as I've done in the past, a drone flight and kind of narrate some of the activities to give you a feel for what's going on out there. As this pulls up. Okay, so the drone in this case is flying kind of easterly, southeasterly. This is the First Avenue pedestrian bridge. Atypical brewery would be in the background, right over in here somewhere. Looks like we're having a bandwidth trouble here, but essentially, I think if I was to classify what's going on with construction, we are with MI6 largely on schedule. So from Roosevelt Park into the west on schedule. MI7, the work within the park and zoo, we are ahead of schedule. Is how I would just kind of generally classify things here. So I apologize for the grainy nature of the videos here, but just to kind of pause and give you a feel for what's happening here. So the construction activity that you see on here, this is Central Avenue. This would be 7th Street, the 7th Street Bridge. So within Central Avenue, the 7th Street Bridge. So within Central Avenue, west of 7th Street, if I rewound this just a little bit, you see flood wall construction that's occurring. Park construction, their intent is to get the flood wall poured basically from this point back to the levee that starts right in front of Atypical Brewery by December. And then that contractor is basically going to shut down for the winter time. Once you get east of 7th Street, the work that's ongoing there is primarily drainage and utilities. You'll see some of that activity up here. Well, you can see it in a very grainy fashion here, but this you'll see some work happening here. This is one of the inlet structure into the former meander or the dead loop. You see there's a bed and end section that's been set down here. Park construction is working on that. And then as we get a little bit farther or closer toward Roosevelt Park, or within Roosevelt Park, this is really tough to see. I'm sorry about that. You'll see some additional storm service. This is large box culverts that are being installed in this area. So the temporary road that was built there, that's been dug up, and this underground construction is ongoing right now. The objective for park construction is for this pump station to basically be backfilled by the end of the year. Yeah, that's their goal, is to be backfilled with that by the end of the year. Now, that will be highly weather dependent. As you're all aware, we are running very short on drying days. And why that's important is because in order to get decent compaction, you have to dry wet material out. And we may not have the appropriate weather to do that here. So, yes?
They were not able to backfill that this year because of weather. Would that affect our pool?
I don't think it'll have any impact on the pool. And we'll still have pretty decent access to get to the pickleball courts when those open up. I think there's contingency plans in place and things like that. And plus, I think when we start looking at the pool, if we're thinking that first week of June for a public opening on it, I don't see any issues with that at all. So, as we kind of head around the north side of Roosevelt Park here, you'll see this is the Magic City Express building. You'll see some paving that's been placed there. That first lift of asphalt's been placed. Black dirt's been spread on the levee. That black dirt is going to be mulched for the winter and likely seeded spring. So one of the things that we're going to be talking about as we get into next spring is how we protect that, because the intent is to open up the park to users at the beginning of May. Okay, that would coincide basically with the desire to get pickleball going at that time. So once we do that and we're seeding at the same time, you're likely to see an array of temporary fencing that's put up to basically let that grass come in next spring. So we get a little bit closer to the center of Roosevelt Park here. I mean, you see largely the flood wall construction is complete. One of the things that we currently have out for bidding right now, there's actually 4 separate features that are out for bid. There are 3 buildings to be located in this area where I'm kind of showing with the cursor. One is the Wolf exhibit, the North American Cats exhibit, and then a storage and maintenance building that we're putting up with the flood control project. And then the 4th piece would be the demolition of the existing North American exhibit on the north side of the river. So we will have bids back on all of those different packages here within the next few weeks. And provided that the numbers come in where we expect to come in, those contracts will be awarded by the joint board very likely at their November meeting. Flood wall construction through this area on the wet side is backfilled, so you can kind of see it as we fly along here. So you see on this section of flood wall that I'm kind of illustrating here, you see the little bit darker concrete. That's indicative of the form liner pattern. You're seeing some shadows in there, and then there's some smoother concrete on the bottom side. That smoother concrete is basically below grade. So you see here that this is basically up to finish grade, and then as we get south of this area, there's about 5 feet or so of additional backfill that has to occur. So the contractor's got a fair bit of backfill work to do. Footing construction is complete. That is 100% complete. Flood wall construction on phase MI7, we're at about 70% complete. If the weather holds out, the contractor will be 100% complete with flood wall construction through the zoo by the end of the year. But what I mean by that is just the general heavy construction. Okay, there will be backfill activities that occur in the spring. There will be landscape and restoration activities that occur. And then there will also be flood wall staining that occurs in the spring as well. So it's not that they're going to be done working, but the major push with the largest crews and equipment and noise and things like that is going to be done by the end of this year. And we're very pleased about that. This is really the portion of the project that's largely ahead of schedule. You see here, the footing, the concrete footing about 40 feet wide that's in the ground there, that is complete. And then basically there are a series of wall pours that'll be executed here over the next few weeks as we approach freeze up for the year. So. All right. Kind of getting back into the heart of Roosevelt Park here. You see the first lift of paving, curb and gutter, some sidewalk. That's all been completed in the area north of the pickleball courts. So we're going to be able to accommodate pickleball and pool users pretty effectively next year. This is the part right here that's going to get tricky and a little bit wonky. So with the pump station construction ongoing here, in the event that they do not get this backfilled, we're going to have to route traffic probably a little bit closer to the pool facility than what we were planning to before, just to keep traffic away from that pump station excavation. But again, our our belief here is that with appropriate weather, our contractor here, Park Construction on the pump station, they should be able to get that backfilled by the end of this year. So we should be in good shape, but I have to insert that caveat just to be honest with you that sometimes the weather doesn't cooperate at this time of year. So, with that, I think, I don't know if it shows here, and it's probably not going to show it in good enough detail to matter, but one of the things I think I reported at the last meeting, yeah, this doesn't look very good, but you hear that this panel of flood wall has some color on it. I happened to be out of town when this was done, but I'm very pleased to report that everybody else that looked at this thought that it was ugly too. So there's some work ongoing to adjust some colors and things like that, so it doesn't look so pink and orange. I think they're going to work some additional brown hues and things like that into it. But again, this is why we do this. These stains, they react differently to different concrete mixtures. So it can be tan, it can look like the color of this wall on one type of concrete, and then it can look, kind of this peachy pink on a different type of concrete. So this is why we do this. It's why we go through this exercise here. But the contractor and their subcontractor will be adjusting colors, and we'll get another mock-up, and then they'll cut loose on the kind of the finished product next spring. So with that, I think that's the bulk of the information that I have for you today. Let's see. You may have to hit escape for me, Ellie. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm going to design some flood control today.
Oh, I might close it out on you.
All right. Well, yeah, I mean, and I really didn't have anything else to go through. There were a couple of slides with some bullet, but I'm glad to take any questions that you have.
Pump station primarily for a line of rain inside the wall and get it out.
Correct. So, all of the area of the river drains into the river, right? So when we build levee, we're actually blocking interior drainage from getting to the river, so it has to be captured by storm sewers and then taken to pump stations, and then captured by storm sewers and then taken to pump stations, and then ultimately that water is pumped into the river during a flood threat. Ultimately, that water is pumped into the river during a flood threat when our gates are closed along the river. During normal periods, we would prefer when our gates are closed along the river. During normal periods, we would prefer to not pump that water because it takes energy, right? And energy costs money, so we open up gates and let it go in there by gravity.
Okay. Okay.
All right, thank you.
To note that when Brian was talking about the stain colors, been involved in all those conversations as well, and we're working involved in all those conversations as well, and we're working with some other community organizations to look forward to some murals that can go on those too. Looking for some grant funding and some just community collaboration. Thank you for that.
Okay. We'll move on to the approval of the minutes from our September 16th meeting, and our September 29th special meeting.
Motion to approve the September 16th and 29th.
Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Now approval of the bills in amount of $630,967.69.
I'll make a motion to approve the bills in the set amount.
I'll second it.
Okay, is there any further discussion? Okay, call the roll.
Hovda?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, call the roll.
Hovda?
Yes.
Yes. Schmidt?
Yes.
Kirkhammer?
Yes. Okay, and approval of the salaries in the amount of $380,418.95.
I'll make a motion to approve as presented the salary.
I'll second.
Is there any further discussion? Okay, call the roll.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Hammer,
Yes.
Hovda, Schmidt,
Yes.
Hammer,
Yes.
Hovda,
Yes.
Kirkhammer.
Okay, and I assume there's, unless anyone has anything to report for Callan. So I assume unless anyone has anything to report for Callan. Is there a financial report?
I have anything
Okay.
questions, I will do my best to answer, or I will phone a friend and get,
Anyone have any questions?
phone a friend and get.
Anyone have any questions? Okay, we'll move into department reports then. Jared.
Okay, Park Board President and Commissioners, not a lot to add to my Park Board President and Commissioners, not a lot to add to my submitted report. One item I need action on is the zoo structures on the north side of the zoo. As Ryan said, they'll be out for bid for demolition. It gave us the opportunity to keep any of the structures or items off that side that we would have use for. The other structures we put out for bid to the public. So what I put in front of you on the Excel spreadsheet, were the bids that came in, or the 8 structures and a couple other items, and these were the bids that came in. I'm just asking for approval to accept these, and then the public bid on these will be awarded, and then have till December 31st to remove them from the property to get ready for the north side exhibit demolition.
So they have to.
Yep, it's all on them. Yep.
Okay.
I'd make a motion to accept the bids for the zoo structures.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there further discussion? Okay, do we need a roll call on this?
Might as well.
Okay, yes.
Hovda,
Yes.
Hammer,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kirkhammer.
Yes.
Another item, Kirkhammer.
Yes.
Another item, just a little update on Cameron Courts. First, I'd like to thank Barbie for all the hard work she's done to help get the facility open and running this year. Things are moving along. We went to our full schedule last week. So we have youth tennis that'll begin October 25th. Tennis League, October 27th, Pickleball League, October 29th. So we are in full swing there. Kind of a pass update as of last Thursday. We'd already sold 62. We'd already sold 62 passes. 10 individual. 33 student, military, or senior, 5 family student, military, or senior, 5 family passes, 12 coffee club, and then 2 just monthly passes. And that was at the end of last week. There's a lot of the young high school kids will be purchasing their individual passes for their programming that's going to start here in the next few weeks. So good support at the early part of this season. Good support at the early part of this season. So I can answer, and I'll try to answer any other questions of my submitted report.
Okay, are there any questions? Okay, thank you, Jared.
Thank you.
And Ashley isn't here this week, so we'll skip to golf course. Steve.
Sunday will be our last day. We're getting everything. Cammy's getting all the lines blown out. In fact, she's still doing that tonight. And Monday they're coming up to change all the oil on the carts from Bismarck with our new lease. we had a good year, and golf is still very popular, so I look for the future to be just as busy. We're getting a lot of kids playing. I think we have 100 kids in our league at the bunker right now, so things are good. We're creating golfers for the future. We are looking at putting up a shelter at the Wee Links, and hopefully trying to get a lot of that stuff done this fall yet. So I think Ryan's involved in that. Ryan, have you seen the plans on that? The shelter for the Wee Links? No? No. Somebody at your office has. Anyway, so yeah, it was a good year. And Cammie did a heck of a job.
All right, does anyone have any questions? Okay, thank you. As he said, Cammie isn't here tonight, so we'll go to the zoo. Logan.
The only things that I have to add is, unfortunately, the primates are in for the winter with the colder weather. And that we had a really successful boo at the zoo this last weekend. Over 2,000 people, 20 vendors through the community. So I just want to thank everybody for participating in that. And I can answer any questions that you guys have.
All right, any questions? Okay, thank you. Mesa, Bob.
All right, I think my report's got everything as far as upcoming events and leagues and all that. The only one that's not started yet will be the high school boys and girls. They don't start till November 10th, but everything else now is starting and going as far as programming and teams and activities. So we're taking over for Steve from the golf course now in full mode. So 3 things to report. The Hockey Booster Dryland Room expansion that's ongoing in the West Rink. I'm not sure if a lot of you know what's going on, but they got the footings cut out and poured. And they're kind of, I think, working on some outside stuff now. It's kind of been hit and miss for the last week of them being in, but hopefully we'll get that done before we get too busy and get into our tournament season. But that will be going, and that'll extend that Dryland Room out into the West Rink on the Zamboni side, which would be the north side of the building, which will be a huge improvement for giving them more space. And all of our high-level teams use that room as well as Brian's Hockey Booster program. So that's an ongoing project, but Rolex working on that and will be completed shortly with that expansion. Not on here. I wasn't sure if the rec was going to be here, so I'll steal their thunder. But we are going to have our first movie skate of the season coming up on Sunday, October 26th at 6 o'clock. I think it's Adam's Family is the movie. Yep. So that'll start 6 o'clock on Sunday, $5 admission. And then if you need rental skates, it'll be $5 down at the skate window. But those are always fun and well attended. And we'll do one before Thanksgiving and one before Christmas. So we kind of do theme skates with our rec department, and we always are happy to host those at the rink. And then the Toros have their annual trunk or treat. Looks like it's going to be nice weather again. So last year they from the shelter around the west rink down the back of the building all the way out to the east parking lot. So I'm assuming if the weather is showing what it is, we'll probably have another great crowd. And then they are going to bring back their Skate with the Toros, they said. So Saturday night will be their first of 4 that they'll do after the game on Saturday, and that's for the public to come down and skate with the players after the game. So hopefully they win and everyone's in a good mood, because I know the players enjoy it a lot more after a win than a loss. So, but other than that, I can answer any of the questions. But yeah, and then Hockey Boosters have their annual auction on Thursday this year instead of Friday, so that'll be Thursday night. They will not have practices, so we will put in public sessions and that to fill the spots that they are not using. So other than that, I'll answer any questions.
Okay, any questions? Great, thank you, Bob. Maintenance, Eric.
Well, we're getting ready for everybody's favorite season, winter. Just winterizing, blowing out all the sprinkler lines, the bathrooms, anything that doesn't have any heat. We started washing down the pool and trying to get that ready, fill it up for winter storage. We're going to finish that up tomorrow. And equipment-wise, getting everything ready. Blades on the trucks, tractors ready, everything ready for snow. So that's kind of our big thing. There's several other items on my report here, but I don't think I need to get into much detail with that. It's just kind of ongoing everyday maintenance. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Questions? Okay, thank you. Horticulture, Shannon.
Not much additional to add to my report. I'm happy to say that the great migration of all the high-value plant material is back in a warm greenhouse for the season, so that's a big relief. Thanks everybody that helped with that. It was kind of a all hands on deck, trying to get 500-pound plant material loaded onto trucks and trailers and skid steers and back into a greenhouse. So that's a good feeling. Yeah, and kind of like Eric said, just kind of transitioning to seasons, trying to get ready for winter. And I would be happy to answer any questions if you had any.
All right, thank you. Forestry, Troy.
I'd like to congratulate Chris Strope, who's my employee, for passing his CDL test. He was Class A now last week on his first try, so good job for him. And then Steve let me know about another tree out at the golf course that we need to take down, but I'm not sure if it's going to help your game or not, Cliff. We'll have to wait till spring.
It's rough, Cliff. It shouldn't bother you.
Oh, okay. You're clear then. So, but if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
Okay, thank you. And recreation, Tom.
Just wanted to add, we've been busy here with some weddings, and then we've had a couple of events that I've listed on there, and then upcoming events, we have boxing Quicksilver promotions in here this weekend, and then next Tuesday starts volleyball districts. And then Bailey's youth volleyball ended on Saturday, and her adult volleyball ends tonight.
Okay, any questions for Tom? All right, thank you. Okay, the moment you've been waiting for. New business, pickleball.
Moment we've been waiting for.
You want me to
I can do
click
it
or do you
quicker
want?
if that's all right.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, Park Board members, president, and team, everybody here. I'm Willie Feelhaber from here in Minot with the Minot Area Pickleball Association. I'm just going to take a second and introduce. We have 4 of our board members here, including myself. We have Kevin Yale here, Paul Ulrichsen, and Kale Mulgard.